For the story. I played like crap, but it moved the story ahead because it's all for the story. Oh, we got the rule of cool, man. I gotta skip that challenge, but it's because it's cool and for the story. Oh, character death. Just a wrong time. It wouldn't be good for the story. The character needs to live here. That would ruin the story if the character died now. Here's the question. Are you allergic to playing a game? Are you allergic to just doing an activity where, okay, we could tell a story later about what you did, but it's the activity that you're doing. I go over there and do the cool thing. I don't want to skip the challenge. I want to be challenged. But whatever cool thing I do is not to avoid the challenge. It's just to have fun. I'm here for the experience. Character death. Oh, it sucks. But that's the way it can go, man. And I want to live on that edge. What if I lose the character? I don't want to. But man, that means when I take a chance, I can lose the character. Because it's a game. And play bad for the story? Man, I don't want to play bad. I want pressure on myself. If I play bad, I want to learn from that and play better. Because it's a game. I want to face it as a game. I want to focus on being in the world, being the character. But the idea of a story, me telling it? No. Look, if you tell the story about my character after I'm done playing the character, that's great. That's where a story can emerge. But I don't want to tell a story. I don't want to think about a story. I just want to think about the game. There's the puzzle. There's the trap. There's the encounter. Hey, there's that social interaction. Combat with words. Talking. I just want to have a good time. And I want to live on an edge. I want to be challenged. I want to be pushed all over the place because it is a game. I'm not allergic to the game, and neither should you. I don't want to collaborate to tell a story. I want to collaborate on doing the adventure. Working out how we're going to get around the thing. I don't want to think about these things. I do not want excuses to avoid what the game is. The game is the challenge. The game is that it can be over. Character death. And man, I want to be good. And if I'm bad, I want to learn from that and get better. That's a game. And it's okay that, say, Dungeons and Dragons is a game. And guess what? There's a whole line of actual storytelling games or storytelling tabletop role-playing games out there. And they're separate from D&D, Pendragon, Castle Falkenstein. There is a Hollow Earth Expedition. There's DC Heroes. There's Prince Valiant. And all of them actually focus from the get-go on actual storytelling. And even those games where you're trying to tell a story doesn't allow you to skip the challenge or whatever there is meant for the game aspect of what you're doing. So if storytelling games won't let you skip the challenge or character death, why would you skip it in a game that is not about storytelling like Dungeons and Dragons? Well, to be storytelling, don't you have to do the telling part? When you start playing a D&D game, do you worry about every line of dialogue that you're doing with your character? No. But in a story game like Pendragon, you do. In Castle Falkenstein, you have to watch what you say. In DC Heroes, it's all about spotlighting, getting it right, setting up the scene, and doing each comic one at a time. Actual storytelling. In Hollow Earth Expedition, I mean, you might as well be running a TV show. That is the aim. And all of them are separate from games like Dungeons and Dragons and World of Darkness. You know, Vampire the Masquerade. Isn't it confusing that the guy who runs that is called a storyteller? But he ain't running a story. He's running a game. He's not telling a story. I should say that. That can be confusing. And again, when we call what we're doing in these games storytelling, what happens? We make excuses to avoid the challenge, to avoid character death, and to give us an excuse to play the game poorly. Oh, I was a chaos goblin. But hey, it moved the story ahead. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter that I played poorly. I think there's been a lot of things that have happened in this hobby, like live plays, where people are all about performing for an audience. And it doesn't look good to perform for an audience when you got to face the challenge. Oh, you fell on your face. Your character died. That's not good for the live action, the live play, the live thing. And am I really getting together with other players to tell a story? Or are we going to play a game, face challenges, worry about that? Am I going to work with them on the exact dialogue we're speaking? No, I'm not. When you use certain labels, you have to get it right, because you have to be doing the thing the label says you are. If it says storyteller, you got to be telling a story. In this hobby, many of the games where we're told we're storytellers, it ends up being excuses to avoid the game. When even the actual storytelling games that focus on storytelling, like Pendragon, even they do not disrespect, we'll say, the game element of what is happening. Why is it in games where you're actually focused on telling a story, even they do not let that aspect cheat the actual game element of what is going on? So why would we ever use that to cheat things that's happening in Dungeons and Dragons? Is it to do a live play and perform for an audience? And is that what these games are about? Is it all about looking good in front of people watching? Or is it maybe, just maybe, these games are about your experience, the person participating in the game? These games were made for the people participating, not for the people watching. And when we try to alter these games for the people watching, when we destroy them, we wreck them, we do something to them. We have bad excuses, and it brings bad practices. It allows the weaker amongst our hobby, the less intelligent, to excuse facing the harder parts of the game that are meant to pressure you, meant to put you on an edge. And you'll notice they care a lot less. They want to look cool. But here's what happens to people that play the games like this. They care less about the experience. They have less passion. It becomes repetitive, and they get bored. People that play these games and do not face this stuff, they're not here for 20 or 30 or 40 years. They don't experience the drug, and they barely get into the flow of gameplay. These are the people that find it tedious to get through 2 to 3 hours, and they're already done. They barely focus on the game. They play on their phone. They joke about the gas station. They don't focus on playing the game and getting into a flow where time just flies by. Next thing you know, 8 hours has passed, like breathing air. That's not what they do. They're not even concerned about that. And when they get into any kind of flow, it's because they're stuck in combat, which they'll complain about. But they'll have a moment. Oh, okay, now they're focused for a second. Just not that long. When it comes to D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, or even Vampire the Masquerade, or most games, Planium, whatever's out there, the majority outside of actual storytelling games like Pendragon are not storytelling games. You're not telling a story. You're not collaborating. The guy running it is not a storyteller. We use elements of many things, from drama class to storytelling to game. And there's only elements, only pieces, not the full thing. We don't pigeonhole a tabletop role-playing game into a drama class or into just writing a story or just purely into a game. It is a combination that creates a special experience where you're doing a bit of acting, you're doing elements from storytelling, character development, but you're doing a game too, and the game includes facing challenges. And you could face the most extreme, the one that ends the game, character death. And the expectation that you are to try your best, put your best foot forward, and not have excuses for poor gameplay. That's there. You're expected to actually try. Get better. Improve. It's to challenge you, challenge your mind, and make you better as a person when you leave. At the same time, you get to escape. It's meant to be a healthy hobby and a healthy activity of fun. Something you don't need to be embarrassed about. You don't need to frown at the experience like it's bad. It's not like a simple video game. It's something where it's social. Not just you playing a game by yourself. You get together with a group of people. You meet new people. You make friends. All that goes away when you start trying to perform for an audience and you start lying to yourself about what it is you're doing. You're not telling a story. But a story can emerge, but you're not telling one. And that's what a storyteller does, is they tell a story. You know what else? You lose the actual experience you, the one participating, is meant to have, and that is magic. You're not living on an edge. You're not facing the challenges. You're not there. You're not experiencing the world or experiencing the character. You're concerned about who's watching. The game is not meant for the onlooker. It's meant for you. Stop getting lost. Stop getting afraid of what the game is. Yeah. And yeah, it might hurt when you lose an experience with a character through character death. You're meant to face that. You're meant to become stronger, better, and it's meant to improve your life in many ways. Not to be something that brings you down, something that makes you happy. But there's no happiness when it's repetitive and boring. That's why you gotta live on the edge. It lets you escape the real world and your hardship here. You get to be somebody else, not you. You get to be somewhere else, not here. You get to do amazing things. So, be passionate about that. Love it. And like me, want to protect it from people that want to turn this into something else. And don't be embarrassed that it's a game. That we're gamers. We're not storytellers. Let storytellers have their label. Let other people be who they're going to be. Do not pigeonhole this into something it is not. Okay, there you go.